Think fast.
What if Tony found out that Paulie Walnuts was mouthing off to Johnny Sack behind his back?
Paulie Gautieri, isn't he dead yet?
About what? Well, let's start with Ralph's joke.
Oh, speaking of 98 pounds, I hear Ginny Sack's getting a 95-pound mold taken off her ass.
Hey, come on.
Listen, John, I just want to say, I hope your feelings weren't hurt too bad and that it never got back to the missus.
The fuck you talking about?
You didn't hear the joke about Ginny? Never mind. Let it die at that.
Well, first off, I think it's safe to say that Tony already did think that Paulie was talking to Johnny behind his back after Johnny Sack found out about the Ginny Sack mole joke. And we know that Tony thought that because he asked Paulie in Remember When.
Was you told him, right? It's no big deal.
It's no big deal, except it was because one of Tony's capos almost got killed over it. And also the underboss of another family. So what would a proper punishment be here?
No offense. You ever had yourself checked for Tourette's? What? I don't know. It's like some people grind their teeth. When I'm nervous, tense or something. You want a drink?
All right. Want a drink? I gotta go, but mine's alone.
I mean, with Christopher, of course, it was easy for Tony to seal the deal because of the accident and injuries that Christopher had. With Ralph, it was a bit harder, but he ultimately prevailed in their gladiator match. But I wonder how it would go with Paulie.
I lived through the 70s by the skin of my nuts when the Colombos were going at it. I just want to make sure somebody knows there could be a line of Cazzarellis a mile long.
In the Museum of Noses, there goes the friggin' Mona Lisa.
Paulie says he survived the Colombo Wars by the skin of his balls. So we know that he has that survival mindset. And it may be more difficult to kill him than, say, someone else who's in a more compromised position. We'll be right back after a brief message from our sponsor. Rigatoni alla Tony.
But since you're eating it, maybe it should be rigatoni alla Tony.
If you call in the next few minutes, we'll include an Electra semi-automatic chrome espresso machine with your order. Another question that I have is, does Tony only assume that Paulie told Johnny Sack about the Ginny joke? Or does he know about all of the other things? Similarly to Tony, with Junior and Livia, I think Tony may have felt a certain loyalty to Paulie because of seeing him as a father figure. Maybe not at that moment, but in the past.
Honestly, I thought he was your dad at first.
There was a time when I wished he was.
How is Carmine? Is there ever anything I can do? Anything. He shouldn't hesitate.
No, sir, I know where Carmine's up my ass on this Freelandizing Avenue bullshit. Somebody's talking too much. It's costing me money.
Fucking Zellman. Fucking real estate scam.
The Freelandizing Avenue thing. We had some words.
It's a different one now. I'm not sure what it is. All I know is fucking Ralph is going around bragging about how much they're making. That mouth of yours. You gotta learn to shut the fuck up. I'm here to tell you one thing. You ever go whining to the big man again about shit between you and me, we'll have a problem, my friend. This shit don't leave the table, right?
I'm hurt that you even have to ask.
Narrator, this shit left the table.
God forbid, if this gets really bad, there could be a change.
Tony?
Suffice to say, no matter what happens now or in the future, Carmine won't forget you.
I'm only trying to bring good relations between the families, as I always do and always will, no matter what happens or who's in charge. If it's me, God forbid, or whoever.
Whether or not Tony was seriously considering killing Paulie, we know that the writers wanted us to consider it. That's why they inserted the funhouse scenes in and out really quickly as we see the boat launching out. Kind of on a side note, it's interesting how in Paulie's dream, when he walks back in the door, he says, "What does it take to get something to eat?" Because when you think about it, he lives alone, so that wouldn't be something that he naturally says upon walking in the door.
When my time comes, tell me. Will I stand up?
Narrator, he didn't stand up. And to me, the fact that Paulie had a dream about it afterward is pretty significant. Because obviously it remained on his mind, even after they got off the boat. By the way, I like how the espresso machine that Paulie bought Tony had the word semi-automatic in it, which makes you think a little bit.
Whoa, whoa. What are you concerned about? I just want to make sure somebody knows there could be a line of Cazzarellis a mile long.
I think when it comes to punishment, if any, Tony was punishing Paulie psychologically instead. I think that's what the continued questioning about the Ginny Sack joke and the Tourette's and the heh and the comments, I think that was scarier to Paulie than, say, a knife. Remember what he told Tony in the ride? I'd rather face 10 guys with shivs than something I can't see.
You always know what to say to me, don't you?
The way I see it is that Paulie, in some ways, was already punished. Even before Remember When. Because for him, feeling like he didn't know who he was, that was like the biggest punishment of all.
What's your name again?
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this latest video. What do you think? What if Tony found out that Paulie was talking to Johnny Sack behind his back and everything that came along with it? I'd love to hear. Also, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Sopranos Blueprint.